Okay, so hi everybody. Hi everybody. Today's the 25th, and we're meeting today. Next week is our spring break. I know you're happy. And yeah, take a breath, and then we'll come back. So I have a few things. What I'd like to schedule for today is this. I have a few things I want to lay out in front of us. I'd like to discuss anybody's iPad publication, their design brief, or their thumbnails in class together. Let me ask you, do you find that beneficial? Mm-hmm. Yes, everybody's nodding, okay. So if you haven't pitched it, I would make sure to pitch it collectively with class, because now you're going to be 2 weeks in between being together, and you're going to definitely be moving things forward, even if you take the week off. Because there's a lot to accomplish. And in 2 weeks, you should be coming back very, you should have moved to your digital with your publication, okay? So I want to make sure that everybody's got a good headway with this one, all right? So we will review that. The other thing I want to do today is just look over all our assignments, and Carol asked us to review color swatches with Kueller, and we'll do that. We'll do it intuitively, because Kueller has changed from being called Kueller. It's now called Adobe Color, right? It's also found through InDesign, but you have to have Adobe Creative Cloud account. You have to have an Adobe ID in order to do that. And what else do I want to do? And then various people in the class are going to demo some interactive exercises, because I get tired of doing it, although I did practice for all of you, because I only do this once a year. So I don't do it very often, and that means that I muddle my way through it. And I tell you that not so you think that I'm a muddler, if that's a word, but you understand my intention. But you know that it's possible to do that. Meaning there's so many resources out there that, as Jimmy said earlier, basically it's a little intimidating, but then you sit down, you sit with it, and you actually do it, and you get that aha moment. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Okay, you get the aha moment, and you're like, oh, it's not so scary. I didn't bring my iPad today, and I apologize, I forgot. But you can test everything on the desktop, but I find it's weird on the desktop. It doesn't behave smoothly, but you get the gist of it. You know whether you're successfully doing it somehow. The reason I have my Gmail up to start with is all of you should have received another lynda.com invitation for another set of 5 classes for 20 bucks for 5 weeks. You should have gotten it like minutes before class started, because I had set it up for you guys long ago, and the email never got sent out. And I set it up as only two months, because I could either do 1 month or 2, and 1 month would cut you short. And it's still cheaper than the $25 or $35 1-month subscription. So it's your call. It's also your call if you want to subscribe, or if you want to use the resources you do have, which gets you pretty far along. Like when everybody did the interactivity for magazines, did everybody, I know a lot of you haven't done this assignment yet. We'll get to that in a second. Let me just close that window. There's an assignment here called Designing a Digital Magazine. And yes, you know well. Okay, and in there has almost every interactive skill you're really going to need for your iPad, mostly. But there are some that are missing, depending on how fancy or how deep you want to get with it. And for that reason, I created this second section to lynda.com. And it might be worth it. If you got 20 bucks, you can step up 4 with it. So I'm going to leave that as your call. And it should be in all your pipeline emails like the other one was. And you would click on lynda.com. You would actually click, on this registration setup here. It'll take you to the page. And Carol, I know you had trouble finding the code last time. There's the code you place into lynda.com when it talks to you about the classroom. It's in your email. It's in your
Oh,
email. It will be in your
okay.
email. Everybody should have an email. I also, so I'm going to close this out because we don't need it. I also, um, here, I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into. A couple of things I haven't talked about. Sometimes I create announcements and then I put the text here so you want to see if you want to look at announcements. There's two things I'd love for you to focus on. One is there's a portfolio day May 2nd through the AIGA. And I'm going to go. It's at Brooks, so I think that means Ojai-ish. And I think it's Ojai. I'll have to check. I'll get the details. But it's May 2nd, and you have to reserve a spot so you can set up, I believe this is how it works. You set up appointments to show your portfolio with professionals. And it's free, it's not free. That's wrong. It's maybe like $10 or something. But it's an opportunity to meet professionals who have experience, real experience. And, you're stuck with the teachers you got here. And you heard our voice for a long time. I think it's really valuable to hear somebody else's voice. And it's never going to be right there at your fingertips. So put that on your calendar. You'll get more details as we move forward. And then the other part is I created this link here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just go back a second. This is a link which takes you to their page to give you feedback on the event, where it is, what they do. There it is, Brooks on Ventura Avenue. It's not in Ojai. It's on the way to Ojai. Okay, off the 101. And it's 1 to 4. You set up your portfolio as a display. That's basically what you're doing. You're getting a table, and then professionals come, and they'll give you feedback. And I think the practice of standing in front of people that you have zero anxiety to be in front of, it's not an interview, right? You just get to put out your stuff and show them your stuff and get feedback. And they're I was going to say they're like me. I mean, they do what I do. They're instructors, they're graphic artists. They'll come up to you and you can ask them direct questions. What's the read? Because oftentimes you're going to probably find job opportunities where you're not meeting somebody face to face, and you might have an online relationship, or you might email them your portfolio or send them the link to your website. This is a really good opportunity to have a face to face and say, well, gosh, do you think my portfolio reflects me? Is this the kind of thing you'd look for? What's a turn off? What's a turn on? Have those conversations. And it's great. So that's what I have to say about that. So stay tuned for that. And that's on our announcement page. The other thing I posted here is the name of the courses. Some of you might have a subscription already to lynda.com for a monthly subscription, and you might wonder what classes I gave as your list. We're limited to 5. Otherwise, I would have added more. I would have added 2 more to our 5 for this class. And you should absolutely have the Publishing Suite Essential Training. And Interactive Techniques gets pretty fancy, which is super fun. And then Digital Publishing Fundamentals is really talking about, I think, how you download Adobe Content Viewer. This is how you would basically do the business of digital publishing, okay? And taking what you already have as print, in a print layout, and basically it's talking to you about how do you convert the resolution of your images for digital publishing and so forth. So I wanted to call these out for you in case you want to pick and choose the ones you want to look at. But nonetheless, the $20 is still cheaper than a 1-month blanket subscription to Lynda. And unfortunately, they limit us class-wise. Any questions about that?
I'm sorry, you said if we sign up for that today, when does
you have 2 months. You have 2 months.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 months. So $20, 2 months.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's pretty fair. Even if I said to you, sign up 1 month for that window of Lynda, you'd have access to everything. But what is it, 25 or $35 now for everything? Which is, and if this is what you're focused on, it's great. And I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide how to handle it. I would do it if you can spare 2 less beers in your life, or 3 less lattes, or what is that? 2 Freebird burritos, Kevin? Yeah, roughly. Okay. All right. That being said, I'm coming down here to what's due. This is the assignment link for the class. Do not forget, again, to write your summary of articles. And you can see our class exercises start to thin out. The burden starts to leave your shoulders. And that's because the burden of the iPad sits on it really heavily. The iPad's a really big project. Don't underestimate it and think you can pull it off in a week. You just can't. Or you can, but it's going to be poor to what you might want to do for it. Today we're going to demo multi-state objects, buttons, placing videos, placing audio, placing an image sequence, and you wanted to do pan and zoom? What'd you want to do? Oh, interactive maps.
Yeah, I can do the map.
Okay, Jimmy's going to do interactive maps, and Dawn's going to do pull tabs, which is that one. Brittany, did you find one you want to do?
I was looking. Had a chance to look at.
Okay, you're trying to remember what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes fearlessly just watching somebody move through it and be brave about doing it and us figuring it out together, I sometimes find that refreshing. Annie, did you decide one you want to do?
I don't know.
You don't know? You want to try any?
Well, I had the video up while doing it, so I don't know.
You have the video doing it. Okay, we'll try it. You know, I will, John knows, I fail many a time sitting up here in this chair. Brittany's nodding. Yes, you do, Vicki.
Every time I try it.
Well,
forever.
and I think actually knowing that, okay, you're going to try it, it might not work the first time, you stop, you start fresh, you do it again, and then you get that aha moment that Jimmy gets, and then it's like, okay, I'm not going to screw this up. It's okay. It's just a computer, right?
It's usually just a bunch of steps, and I always forget the steps.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why I know I'm putting you on the spot, Brittany. I really do this whenever I teach the class and we come to this little point and I demo it, but I don't do it all the time. I'm not designing for iPad, although I will tell you that because I'm teaching this class, I did say to my client who has a completely digital work environment, new client, digital work environment, I said, where's your printer? Oh, we don't have one. Where's your file cabinets? We don't have one. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. And so they're creating manuals for these very complex products they have. And they said, oh, we're going to have you make, they call them quick start guides, which is like a chart that says, this is how you set it up. These are how you do these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. And visually, they're glances at things, right? You don't want this thick manual out of it. And I said, I'm excited to do that. I said, did I already tell you this story? And I said, well, I do digital publishing. We can design these manuals for an iPad. And the products are so costly, $100,000. They're like, oh man, that's super cool. We'll throw in an iPad with it loaded with all the manual information, with all this swipey technology, right? What's a $500 iPad when you're buying a $100,000 product, right? Nothing. And loaded and branded the way you want it to be branded. So although I don't really use this that often right now in what I do, because I tend to be more of a print designer, the possibilities are endless. And I actually think mastering this is really where we need to head. Okay? So would you like to start with the demos, or would you like to start, let's start with sharing our design briefs, and, we'll start with Kueller. No, we'll save the demos for later. Let's start with our design briefs and our roughs. Is there anybody here who hasn't pitched theirs yet? Okay. So Jake, you want to do it, and Jared, you want to do it?
Thumbnails, I'll go if you want to wait a little bit.
You're uploading them?
My thumbnails.
Okay,
Like setting to my computer. So.
got it. And Brittany, do you want to pitch yours? Are you ready to today?
I don't really like my design brief, but I could show my thumbnail.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to like your design brief. You can use it as a foundation. Did you upload it, or do you want to? Okay, so let me turn off the screen. Let me pause the video. Okay, so we're going to start with Jared talking about his iPad, his roughs. And for some reason, I thought your design brief showed up, but I guess not. Does it show it up? There we go. Okay,
Yay.
all yours.
Sweet. Thank you. Nope, that's upside down.
You can rotate it. Cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where the road. Is that it right there?
You could go to
Edit.
edit. See, it shows
No,
it
that was
there.
right. It's that rotate page.
Go to tools on the far right.
No, I
instead.
had it on said rotate page.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I
Did
do
you
not
see
see
that
that.
little, like the third
Little
one.
green
That thing,
Yeah.
right?
It said rotate.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Oh.
And I wanted to do 180. Voila! Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay, well,
Make it a little bigger for him.
look at that scanner. Isn't that
If you
great?
hit Command 0,
Command is 0.
there you go.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm doing my application on what's called, first off, locals only. And it's kind of like a bar scene kind of thing, but it's like those little hidden nooks in Santa Barbara that people really wouldn't know about unless if you are a local. So I had one of my buddies who's lived here for ages show me around the town, and really there are these cool little places that are just popping up everywhere around here that are very unique to their own identity. And they present a beautiful kind of environment where anybody could, enjoy themselves and have a beer or talk or whatever. So, so then for the cover, with that being said, I'm kind of going for not really a drinking kind of aesthetic. I kind of want to do something that's fun, but also classic or classy in a way, because, it's locals only. You should feel invited to go to these places. You should have to know about them. So for the cover, at least.
So before you just talk about your design,
Sure.
can you talk about, I'm going to start writing on a board because I understand locals only, but it sounds like it might be a variety of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yeah, it goes from like wine bars to just regular beer bars.
So it's all about bars only?
For the most part, some of them are like half restaurants, half bars, but
So it's only food?
it's food and like beer and wine. So I figured Santa Barbara had a plethora of, so might as well try to indulge in that.
So your category is food and drink.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a chain, which is why you call it local.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that from the outset, so good.
That's okay.
Okay, keep going.
So do you want me to like continue describing what goes
Yeah, start.
on?
Tell us who you're including, because we don't have your design brief.
Right.
So tell us who you're including in it.
So I have about 6 or 7 different places. Some of them you guys might know of, like Brophy's or American Ale. You guys heard of that place? Really cool underground, kind of like speakeasy feel to it, but those are the kind of environments that these places have. I also chose another one too. Goodness, my mind is going blank on me. But that's okay.
Do you have your design brief with you or a way to access it?
It's all on my computer at home. Yeah, unfortunately. So, for the most part, though, most of these places either serve primarily alcohol, or they primarily, or they do the restaurant and bar scene.
Okay.
So they have a lot to really offer. But the really cool thing about these are that they all have some awesome scenes that just have beautiful imagery in them. Like I went over to American Ale one night, and might have had a couple drinks, but I was still able to take some really cool pictures there just because of the atmosphere that they presented themselves.
So how are you comparing them? What are you comparing and what are you ranking?
So I'm going to be doing little kind of, I guess, what do you call them? Little beer mugs for like the rates of like how classy they are, or how kind of nice price range, everything, kind of
Okay,
like the
hang on,
overall
hang on.
grade.
So classy to dumpy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else?
There's also.
Then you have price.
Mm-hmm.
So $1 to 100 million. Okay.
Only for the Montecito places.
Okay. So
And
what else?
then there's also the environment too.
Environment. So how do you rank the environment? Based on your like of it, or based on a category of interior architecture like modern or rustic or
Right. I kind of that one isn't really about like grading them on their theme or like kind of trying to give them a grade. It's just more or less what
style type?
exactly.
Okay, so
What
you're
are they trying to bring out to the table?
Okay, so got it. What
And
else?
then location obviously is one of the things I read
So
about.
map,
Uh-huh.
location. Okay. And so location with a bar, I don't know if anybody thought about this, I just did as I'm writing my little notes. Location with a bar, it would matter to me, you know, hi, I'm glad to see you, Laura. And I saw Chelsea come in too, hi. So it would matter to me, you know, they give walkability scores for real estate. Has anybody heard this? Yes. Walkability. Walkability means like I used to live in a house that had a walkability score of 17. I now live in a house that has a walkability score of, I'm very proud of it, it's like 92. And what that means is that I walk out my front door, how many businesses can I access without a car, basically? And I was thinking, a few of you are doing drinking establishments. I'm wondering if walkability or something like that with this map locator, like how close to public transportation is it? How can you get home without getting behind a wheel? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It just crossed my mind as all you guys are.
That's a really cool factor to put up like right next to the map or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's easy to find. You just look up walkability, literally.
right on.
Yeah.
I did not even think about that. So.
So, well, and it goes with everybody's category. So,
Mhm.
okay, keep going. I'm interrupting. I'm sorry.
No worries. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be trying to judge all these places on.
Okay.
For the most part, I visited all of them and taking pictures and stuff, so they all kind of hit that mark. But anyways, so I kind of tossed and turned some ideas with, the cover, and like for instance the second one, locals only with a beer mug over there, and you raise the glass, and then the screen will go up with it, or something silly like that. Or I was thinking about the locals only as an envelope, that kind of is like your own personal invitation that you could then swipe up to open, and then you go into the whole image kind of selection, and then the whole menu for it itself. But yeah, and I'm also kind of thinking for each place to have its kind of like implement the theme of the place in the actual design of the app layout, whether it be just the way that it swipes. It could swipe to like maybe something that is very unique to them or something like that. And I don't know. I'm trying to play around with ideas and stuff, but as far as me putting the nose to the grindstone, I kind of came up with this really quick and yeah.
Okay. All a good start. For all of you, what I wrote up here, I know you probably can't read very easily. So you all heard us talk out loud about his categories. But for all of you, the roughs are a good start just to start putting pen to paper on how you might navigate or lay out or what your categories are. We need your other 3 to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 9. And I personally suggest that you take it from where you're at with these simple layouts, and I suggest that you embellish it a lot, that you take it far further in your thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
And what I recommend, because we haven't seen your design brief, and a lot of you already did this in your design brief, I recommend you start gathering all your images. Photographs, original artwork ideas that you have, icons you might choose to develop, just start making a container for all your graphics. That's usually what I do when I design something. Mostly I start to brainstorm what it is I need, and then I start continually accumulating all my materials, because once I'm on a roll for designing, I find that you're nodding. Do you do the same thing? I start accumulating my stuff, and then when I'm on a roll for designing, it's like, oh, that goes there, I scale that there, I move that there, I created a page, and oh no, I don't like it like that, and I take that whole container page and I scale it all down and I move it to here, and it's just, it's like this rhythm. And so I would start for you, since we haven't seen your design brief, I don't know if you already have this, but we want to see it, is start, what I wrote here is start gathering images, create a brand, a logo. Create a logo for this. It's a publication. Create a brand. You're creating a cover design. Maybe you want a logo for it, a graphic. What's your flavor? As part of your design brief, what's your color palette? What's your fonts? We need to see all your type studies. You need to start developing that. And then create pretty extensive visual prototypes. Don't go down one road. Poor Jimmy. Jimmy wanted to do a video in another class. He wrote his idea. It was a really good idea. Don't get me wrong. Good idea. It's a good idea, and I've said that's a really great idea, but you have to have 3 ideas. I want to know what you rejected. And I often find that I think that I've got this really brilliant idea, and because I haven't put any other idea out there, I just stopped, I went forward with that, and then I think, oh, And I think sometimes putting your rejected ideas out there fuels new creative ideas. I truly do. And if you're only down one road and you haven't thought of other alternatives, you've kind of closed the door off to even thinking of new things to add to your one idea. Not regarding your video, but for publication design. I had a client do something yesterday, last night, at 5 o'clock, finished invitation that had been designed, redesigned, approved, was going to print, and 2 people emailed because it was decision by committee. Okay, decision by committee. And 2 people emailed and said, well, they didn't say, I don't like it, but they said, well. So I had to redesign the whole thing again. So that's okay. I get paid for it, right? But if you've gone down only one road and you can't think of the possibilities, that's why I like for all of you to come up with a bunch of different layouts. Also, if something's not working for you, let's say you start, Jared, designing this layout and it's not working for you, you might have to say, oh, this isn't working for me. What were my other ideas? And go back to your stream of consciousness. So gather.
That was another thing I figured out when like doing the thumbnails is that like as I was thinking of like one design and trying to like for instance like that one, I would already be thinking of that one as well, or like different ways
He's
to like
pointing to this one. Yeah, you'd already moved on to this
exactly
one.
like having that continuous just flow of thought would just be definitely helps
How
out.
do you change images when you're in the middle of, you've got your screen, say you have 6 images, and you want to change them one at a time.
What are you asking? How do you rotate images on an iPad so your images change one after the other?
Yes,
We're going to demo that today. It's called image sequence.
good.
It's pretty cool.
It's also called multi-state object, so you'll get a demo of that. Yes, both of those. Feedback or thoughts to add to this for Jared? No?
I like the idea.
Like the idea?
Hello?
Thanks.
Hello?
Okay, so, well, Jared, your idea is good. The idea that it's local only, I might add, I didn't add this here, you might want to take a photograph of what's on the screen here.
just about
You might want to add who knows about it. Like, is it a secret or not? Or do you want to keep it a secret or not? You know what I mean? Like, aren't there some underground bars or clubs or stuff like that still? Yeah?
I don't know about up here.
Not in this town.
Not in this town,
Yeah,
okay. But there's like a coolness factor to knowing what other people don't know,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah? I never go to, I'm not cool, so I have no idea. But maybe that's a category as part of this locals only thing. If there's underground stuff, maybe you could dig around. That would be super interesting, dig around.
See how, like, Just see if anybody has heard it on the street or something like that.
Yeah, because I'm listening to all you guys and I want to push you into a coolness factor.
Mm-hmm.
I want to push you into something that's like really interesting. Like I can Google local places and on chains and it probably pops up for me, but I don't know about the underground stuff, right? So maybe that's a little hook you can add. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing about most of these places too. Like you can still try to search. Like one of them is a wine bar.
Yeah.
And you can try searching it, but it won't come up because it sells wine as well.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a store too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then that's another category you just listed.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but does it have retail?
I think like two or three of them do.
Okay. Does it have catering? I'm just throwing out categories of
Mhm.
more comparatives.
Would
Okay.
this be a good time or not? I have two. I was going in one direction. I didn't like it much.
Okay, wait. So do you want to talk about yours now?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, let me just finish with Jared, and then we'll move on to yours.
thank you.
Okay, so anybody else want to add to Jared's? No? Okay, good job.
Cool idea.
Cool idea. Yeah, it's a cool idea. Maybe it's just me wanting to learn underground stuff and become cool. I don't know.
I promise you would like some of those places too.
I'm sure I would. Okay, do you have anything visually to show us?
No, I had computer difficulties. But
Okay,
I could
so-
quickly run by.
No,
Two ideas.
hang on. Why don't you come up here so you get recorded,
Oh yeah.
and then I'll make notes on the screen of what you described, and you'll describe it for us to get
Alright.
you started. And then, based on what we talked about, you will need to show us visually, again, just like we talked about everybody's process here, you'll need to deliver that for us as well. Okay?
You'll have that.
I know you will.
What I want from you, if you can do
Introduce
it,
yourself so we know who you are.
is from. My name is Carol Lee,
Yeah.
and I had two ideas. I was going down the road with one, and then I thought the other one would be a whole lot simpler and maybe more beautiful. The first one was what I outlined for you last week, which was doing kind of the people in the place where I live.
Right.
They all have decorated doors, and I was designing sets on the iPad where there might be, say, 3 doors, because it has to be horizontal, not vertical. And then each door would open in turn, and you would learn something about the person. For one thing, that's going to be upsetting to people for me to go prying into things about them. So the other idea I had was, I'm talking to grounds at City College, and I wanted to know what were some of the more important plantings. There are tons of beautiful plants here. I wanted to pick 5 to 7 of those plants, locate them for you on a map, tell you what they are and about them, everything Google knows about that plant, and make a show out of that. So what I'd like from you is some feedback on which idea you think is more feasible and would be more interesting.
Did you have any other ideas besides those two?
Not anything I was prepared to go forward with.
Okay, all right. Because I know we talked, everybody probably remembers at length, we talked about the residential facility and how to compare the activities, the food, how people personalize their spaces, what special needs they might have and so forth, and how the facility, so each person's needs were basically compared. If you pick plants on the City College campus, it's not about identifying where that plant is located and giving us information about it, because we can Google that. The idea is to pick a category, and in that limited category, compare and contrast the items in the category. So picking plants on Santa Barbara City College campus probably doesn't get you there,
Oh, I see.
because it's too broad.
Okay.
right? And what are you comparing? You're not comparing them. You can compare, yeah, Jared, you're gonna add?
You could compare gardens then, if you, because that would be a little bit more specific thing. Is if you wanted to do like, Santa Barbara's SBCC's garden, and then UCSB's garden, and then maybe the
And
botanical
you gotta stay in a
garden.
very limited geographic area,
Oh, I see. So it has to be
very
Gotcha.
accessible.
okay.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Is it valid to compare the people in the place where I live if they open the door and obviously there's 200 people there? I cannot.
Well, you're not gonna do
Yeah,
them
you don't
all.
have to do.
No. Well, I would pick say 7 or 8.
Okay, well,
But
you know what,
they're
hang on, so let's not revisit what we did last time describing the people. You gave us 2 ideas, and you're a little uncomfortable with your first idea, is what I hear.
Yes.
So let's not revisit what we already broke down last week in terms of describing. Chelsea was coming up with, I think, a way to stretch your plant idea, is that right?
Oh, well, mine was, I was thinking of something close, and I thought of the harbor, and I thought the harbor is right here, and it's, you can maybe, I
It's
don't know.
contained.
It's contained, and you can find something there, like even, I don't know, I was just thinking of,
Different boats or something.
yeah, like it's a fun place to go, and it's kind of the heart of Santa Barbara, and it's right here, and maybe there's something.
So you're
with the
thinking about contained
harbor.
space, what would you do?
Yeah, what you could
Compare
down there.
businesses.
Because I think plants are complicated, honestly. Like the little bit I looked at into succulents, like you can choose one species and you're on a
Yeah.
chase.
Plants is a really broad range.
It's just hard, yeah.
But on the other hand, Jared's, I don't know that he knew that, I know where you were headed with this. You were gardens of campuses, but Santa Barbara City College has a variety of gardens.
Oh yeah, we do.
I mean, you've got, how do you make the garden around the water sculpture up by the library?
Yeah.
And what's the garden like? Where's, in other words, there's different environments. We could map out the city college and you could pick different environments and talk about the garden, like where do you sit for shade? Where do you sit for the best ocean view? Where do you sit for, where are there drought tolerant plants? Where's, in other words, maybe it doesn't even have to be gardens, but maybe it's in the environs of Santa Barbara City College. So taking different environments like the dining environment or the hillside where they give speeches where the fountain is, or the where you'd go on a rainy day for shelter, and where you'd go to hit the sunshine, and where you'd go to take a nap, and where you'd go to, like, how do you navigate, what do you do on the environment of the city college? That might, and you can compare, right? You're comparing different environments based on your comfort, maybe your shelter, the beauty of it, help me guys,
Like you said, the view of the
the
ocean.
view of the
You
ocean,
could even do the view of the ocean from the bridge.
right,
The bridge itself.
Right.
is pretty amazing.
Oh.
right. So we could create categories like that on campus, and then you're not having to do the scientific, you're not doing what Chelsea just said, which is plants is just a black hole. It's
Also, mapping that out would be a ton easier too, because you get the
city
layout.
college map.
Exactly, you just make red marks on it wherever it is, and kind of makes it easier that way.
That'd be good.
You do
Yeah.
like the food places too,
What, Brittany?
like the cafeteria.
So
they do
many
the cafe,
environments
Coffee shop,
in Santa.
taco shop.
I'm
and all
sorry.
that they have.
She
one
said,
of each
she
Chipotle
said
bar?
coffee
Yeah,
shop,
the-
dining room,
The-
cafeteria,
The coffee places.
the coffee house.
Backyard pools or whatever.
Yeah,
They have all
so
those.
food, is it a food environment? Is it a sleeping environment? Is it a TV environment like out where that coffee house thing is? Is it a silent study environment like the library? Or,
So
Has-
different environments within City College campus.
yeah, what do you think of that?
Is that viable?
Yeah,
I like it.
okay, so scooch aside, because we're gonna type this for you so you can see it on this screen and not have to, don't go away, you can look over my shoulder while I'm doing this. So let's type this up for Carol.
Just talked about
Just give me a little space. Okay, so I'll just make a new document in InDesign. There we go, wide. not there. Okay, so I'm typing this, Carol, so you can see. So your topic is Santa Barbara City College environs.
Spell check later.
Yeah, I always need to. Okay, and then your categories were, what were we comparing? Just name them so I can type.
Views and restaurants.
Views, food experiences. Well, that would be like the dining, what did you say? The dining room, the expensive one, what's the other one called?
JSB.
Yeah,
JSB?
JSB had
Oh, the cafe, that's it. The cafe, the cafeteria, the coffee house.
Where's the
They have
dining room?
like the Mexican place now.
Yeah, the
I don't
Mexican
know what it's called.
Mexican shack, we'll call it.
Yeah.
The dining room's down by the bookstore.
And like the, I don't know if it's backyard.
Oh, that's right,
Natural.
Natural Bowls.
Yeah.
Natural Bowls. And then we talked about resting spots, right? You compare resting spots based on whether they're shady or they're protected from rain or they're,
I just wanted to get your spelling.
oh. Yeah. Yeah, I really.
Sport,
Oh,
safety.
resting spot. That was it. Yeah, I never look when I type, and then I look at it and I'm like, what was I saying? What was I saying? Resting spot. And then I said shade, protected from rain, sun. What else did we have for categories? Good seating. You like my typing?
Traffic of people, like if it's
Oh,
people,
crowded.
crowded.
Yeah, like quiet spaces or.
I think it's like the
Quiet.
library, too.
Study spots.
Okay, and then study spots. What else we got?
If it's an actual like garden.
Compare garden spots. What'd you say, parking?
I don't know.
Is that what you
I was
said?
thinking of things that are-
Yeah, hot parking spaces, right?
Things that are over here.
Yeah, because
How about accessibility? We're back to still accessibility.
Yeah.
That could be a key on every single one of them.
That could be a key on
Yeah.
every single one of them. That's true. Let's start my spelling nightmare. It says I'm fine. Is that true? Do we believe it? No. Story. Start. Did I clean up my act?
Yeah.
Okay, here. And I'll even change case to title case. Now I look very consistent, don't I? Yeah, well, made that magic, didn't I? Does that help you?
I think so. You think that would be an acceptable approach?
Well, I think it meets a lot of criteria for you. It
Yeah.
doesn't invade people's lives. You get to judge your own comparisons. You have categories. You have an existing map that you can help identify.
Yeah.
You, it creates great graphics. Oh, we forgot the view. Oh, no, we didn't. Maybe you rank the view by ocean or garden.
Mountains.
Oh, or, yeah, thank you. Okay, does that get you started?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now it's on the screen for you on the video at johnlemon.info.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I know. Okay, we're going to save this. And we're going to get you started with it. Okay, anybody else want to add anything to it? I actually think you all came up with fantastic ideas. Okay. So, all right, does that get you started? And then you don't worry about infringing on people's lives?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, you got support here. Everybody's on your side. Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
It's a good
thank
start.
you very
Uh-huh.
much.
Yeah. All right. So you'll see this on the video, and we'll we'll make sure that you got it, so that gets you going.
Alright,
All
I'll
right.
start work this month.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Okay, so who else did we not? Jake, you ready now? Okay, you want to put your flash drive in, and
Couldn't get my briefs to send, so I'm just gonna do, or I can get my thumbnails to
your thumbnails are right in here, right?
I don't
I
think uploaded
downloaded
them.
the most recent set, or
I don't even think I uploaded them, so.
you did not upload.
I have
Oh.
them on paper, like right there, but I just don't have them. They like-
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you have to show us?
The brief.
Oh, your brief.
If
Okay.
you want to see the thumbnails, I have them on paper, but it's up to you guys.
Sure. Let's start with your brief and talk
Okay.
about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take that.
I did.
You got good
Big
support.
enough? Alright, should I make it smaller?
Is that you?
No. It's just the front, I don't know.
Where'd you find that picture?
I think Pinterest maybe?
How fun is that
Yeah,
picture,
Pinterest
right?
has some really cool stuff, so.
You like it?
I was
Oh,
on
yeah,
there just getting
Pinterest.
ideas,
I said
it
I
was
love
really
Oh, you like
Yeah.
Pinterest?
Yeah, this one's really cool.
Okay,
So
so
I'm-
stop and tell us about
Yeah,
your
so I'm
concept.
gonna do different skate spots around Santa Barbara. There's a bunch of different things, so I'm still doing like Ala Vista and stuff like that, if that's acceptable. I don't know, there's a skate park, there's just a lot of stuff around Santa Barbara to find, so I think it'll be a fun project to skate around and explore Santa Barbara and different fonts. I was gonna call it Kick Push or Kick Push Coast, I don't really know what to really go with, but these are the fonts I came out with. I kind of like these two right here. They're kind of cool.
There are a lot of good tagging fonts that might work.
Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, definitely. This one's cool. Different
Wonder how
color
you got it,
palettes.
John, right?
I just wanted to go with fun colors. Really, just finding cool colors that I really liked. The bottom one I kind of went with like kind of like curbs and like fire hydrant colors, so like blues, yellows, reds. I don't know, anything really. I didn't want to go with just blacks and gray like concrete. I think it's kind of boring, so fun colors would be cool.
How did you get the palettes to go with the fonts?
What was that?
How did you export the palettes to be on?
I just screenshotted them. If you just hold Command Shift 4, I think you can just do a certain area.
Command 4? Oh, you screenshot
Like you,
them.
yeah, you can just when you're on the website, like on the color palette page, you just hit Command Shift 4, and you can just drag wherever you want. You don't have to do like the whole screen,
Right.
so you can just do just the square if you'd like. So let's see. Skaters etiquette, so like do's and don'ts basically with skateboarding. Thumbs up, thumbs down, different things that are in and around different
you write
features.
that?
What? What?
Did you write the do's and don'ts?
What do you mean? Yeah?
Did you write
Yeah.
the list?
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make it fun, kind of not rebellious. I mean, rebellious in a way, but not like, screw this, screw that. But I don't know. Definitely make it fun. Ala Vista spots, just pretty much anything around IV I can find and take a picture of. That's Campus 880, so there's like a little ledge right there. There used to be a skate house in Ala Vista, but the landlord ripped up all the ramps, so I can't really take pictures of that anymore.
Was that the house that was on Salvador or something?
No, it was on Fortuna, like all the way at the end of Fortuna. Like they had a huge backyard,
And they had like a fat half pipe or something
huge.
like that?
Yeah, they had a couple mini ramps and pipes there. It was pretty sick, but they're all gone now. And then of course Santa Barbara Skate Park, so I'll probably be there taking pictures
So many
for a
crazy parties
while.
there.
I don't know. They have a bunch of different features: boxes, rails, bowls.
And so do you rank your parks by
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably should have put this page at the top, the different factors. I wasn't really sure, so I was gonna see what you guys were thinking. So difficulty, I guess, condition, like is it rocky, is it smooth? Curb stoppers, of course, we don't want. Security is definitely a problem in some places. I don't know. Kind of just want to make it fun.
Meaning what?
Like if you're at CC skating, you're probably not allowed to do that. So UCSB
Oh,
as
so they'll
well.
stop you.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. So,
Okay.
but I mean,
Security
about
has to look
security?
out for it rather than
yeah,
look for
pretty
it.
much. Just make it
Well-
kind of fun, kind of thing. Like give signs, like yeah, who listens to the signs, like come on,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, stuff like that. I was trying to think of where to categorize things, so I kind of got lost on that.
What's LASA? Oh, that's a.
That's just like anywhere you can really buy skateboarding starts to get started or something. I don't know. There's a Goleta skate park in the process. They're still like figuring out because the one downtown's pretty crowded, so they're trying to make this for more beginners. So I got to do more research on that. There's not too much on it, but it's supposed to be on Hollister and Kellogg. So we'll see about that.
How many parks do you have?
There's just one park, but I was just gonna do spots all around.
Okay, so you don't need parks.
Yeah, so like, yeah, exactly. And then here's CC. Just screw around at CC, do that, and then also
Did you take that
UCSB.
photo?
No, that's just online.
Okay.
UCSB as well. So like, I don't know if you can tell on the map, but I'll just make a map, do like little red dots or little X's, and you can zoom in or whatever around the UC. What else? Secret spots. I guess some spots that people probably don't know about. So I just kind of have to explore my own and figure that one out.
And what's the rock about?
Oh, he's hanging because the rail's really shaky. So I'm guessing he's tying it down with a rock. So I guess you gotta. I wanted to make a little page. Maybe not like work with what you got, or like I don't know, probably incorporate it somewhere. That's really about it so far. I can't really do too much research besides like personal knowledge.
So what I hear you saying is you have a skate guide
Yeah.
of skate locations.
Yes.
But you also have
Kind
etiquette
yeah.
and
A
a
base.
and a
Kinda.
support in
Yeah.
case you need a new set of wheels
Yeah, stuff like that. Place to go get shoes. Like I
and
don't know.
secret
Secret
keys
spots.
to better
Yeah, just anything that really
skate.
kind of just underground, like he was saying, like spots that are really not well known, but you would want to
Yeah.
go check them out, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Just skate around Santa Barbara and just
so you have more to list and
yeah,
come up
definitely.
with. Okay.
Because it was hard to come up with 7 different spots in Santa Barbara, so I try to make the skate park a separate thing besides like one
Yeah.
whole feature or whatever. But yeah, this is what I got so far. So
So when you say spots, you're talking about like
just like different areas basically throughout Santa Barbara. So like anywhere in Ala Vista, basically anywhere on CC, anywhere on UC,
right on.
and
So, like,
coming
you
soon
find-
was just kind of something fun.
And
That
public space also?
yeah, exactly. That's what the secret spots would be about. Just like
So
kind
if
of
you were
just
to find like a really cool or like
yeah,
cool
it's a
ledge
sick rail or a
that's-
couple of sets. Like yeah, just
Gotcha. That's tight.
yeah.
So, I don't know if you all remember there was a sample, I think I showed you guys in class, there was a sample skating.
Yeah, I saw
Field
that and I
guide?
was just like, I have to go with that.
I
That's
know.
so cool.
And if you remember, and I know you didn't like it, not that you didn't like the sample, but you didn't
Yeah.
like that it was in black and white.
Yeah, like it's
There's no color.
yeah. I like black and white. But
I want to, yeah. I want to comment as to why somebody would choose to do something in all black and white. One of the things I find when I'm designing something and I'm getting photographs from a variety of sources, the photography's like all over the map in terms of color or lighting or interior or clarity or
Yeah.
something. And one of the ways that you can kind of universalize or kind of find an even ground with what you're working with is to turn it all into black and white. I also did a brochure where I turned all the backgrounds into black and white and the people in the photographs were in color, right? So the background was desaturated, people are in color. So depending on where you're getting all your imagery from, remember, which is why I said you really need a point of view with your imagery, that might be an option.
Yeah, I like black and white. The only thing I think it would work is because like if I'm taking pictures of like stairs and rails, the only way to really make it look cool is black and white and just hard contrast maybe.
Yeah,
but, like,
super hard contrast.
that's the only reason why I'd probably incorporate black
Yeah.
and white. But other than that, I like
or always the skateboard is
yeah,
in,
exactly.
in
So
play or something, or the skateboard and the shoes are in play, or unless it's a beautiful photo, you might find really beautiful photos, but
Yeah.
if it's really an ugly one,
yeah, like UC and CC probably not too
right?
you know pretty.
if-
Yeah.
A really cool filter to use for skating or for skating
Yeah.
pictures is sepia
See, I
tone.
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
sepia
I did that for one of my high school projects
Yeah.
in photography back
Hell
in the
yeah.
day, and it kicked butt. So
Yeah.
It's good.
it adds a lot of cool flavor to
Yeah.
it.
Sweet. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Chelsea.
I was actually gonna say something before I saw your no fun sign. You know,
Yeah.
how they're like, don't do anything fun. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So depending on where you are, the
Yeah.
sign changes, and
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it'd be really funny if, you know, before you have a page on a skate spot where
Yeah.
there's like curb stoppers or you're really
Exactly,
not
yeah.
supposed to skate there, you should have that.
Yeah, right. Just
You know,
it,
they
just
know
make
the
it
harbor one
funny.
is
Yeah,
different.
make it fun. Just like I agree.
It had like a humor.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking for. So
Maybe you could put like all the things that you're like making the places for all the categories that you have. Maybe you could design it to look something like that sign.
that'd be cool.
So it could just be
Like a little
flat
key,
right there in their
right,
face.
with like screws and stuff. That'd be
Mhm.
cool. Because on my thumbnails, I wasn't sure how to. What I was really looking for on
Yeah.
like next pages. But
Yeah. You start.
yeah, I was thinking of doing like skateboards for the different categories.
That's cool.
Some simple, or like the tabs would be skateboards. Slide them up.
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
could like slide out or something like that.
More feedback for Jake.
I'd say I like the lace up
Yeah.
idea, and like maybe on each skate spot having a lace up where the nearest
Could lace it up to a certain like.
nearest like stores to each
Yeah,
location,
exactly.
so
True.
in case
Like the
something-
skate shop would be definitely one
something
for
bust.
like these two because they're downtown. Then movement would be more involved with Ivy, so because that is in Ala Vista. So
Yeah,
I agree, that's a really good idea.
that's cool.
Do you need me to write these ideas down for you?
No, I
or-
think
they're
got
in
it.
here.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
I can see where I can go with it.
With that cop car and all the kids. sitting
Yeah,
in
like
it.
stuff like that.
You
Like
didn't-
it's,
you
you
didn't
know,
take
it's
that one,
funny.
right?
You know,
Are
like
you in it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that is Santa Barbara too. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah, yeah. So that's pretty funny.
That's good.
yeah.
So you
Right
haven't.
on the boardwalk.
You do have some thumbnails.
Yeah, I
you
have
don't
them
have
all. If you guys want to check them out, you can.
Do you want us to?
If you want,
It's
yeah.
your time.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. Okay. Then.
Yeah, we can have someone else come up.
No, you want to pull them out, or are you gonna take a while?
Yeah, I have paper.
Just come on up and talk about them. Then you get to have John snap a photo of them.
Should I pass them out or should I
Let me
talk about them?
cruise through them really
Yeah, go
fast.
for it.
They're really light
Yeah.
colored. Oh man, you're busy.
So yeah, stuff like that.
Here,
Kind of
okay.
like floating.
So can you guys see that? Is that let me turn the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't, right? Right. I'll do show and tell. Can you see?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So I do want to comment about your Kick Push
Go for it.
Coast. There's a store in Ventura called Drop Smash Fix. Drop period smash period fix
That's cool.
period
For
I've-
computers.
for my phone.
Oh.
My phone. I've been there. And I thought, how clear is that? Right? And you could just visualize the logo for Drop Smash Fix.
Yeah, I wasn't sure on the name. It kind of got me stuck.
And there was something, you know, I can see Kick Push, but there's a rhythm to Kick Push Coast. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah, like
or
I have
I'm
the-
not a
I
skater.
have the
There's a,
period dot coast right there.
I like the
Kick
code,
Push
yeah.
Coast was in it was in a song I
Yeah,
think.
Lupe
Yeah,
Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco.
That's where I got it from.
So music, all of you are going to have music and
Mhm.
video
Definitely.
Theme song right there.
There it is.
that you
Open page.
turn on and off, that you give people controls for, right?
No, you just leave it on all the time.
Well, that's just it. I know. So,
Super loud.
so this one I see you have equipment and you click on the
Yeah,
equipment
so I was
as
thinking,
buttons.
yeah, like a screw, a wheel.
So is this a
Shoe.
sequence? Do I understand this right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're all kind of mixed up. But you'll
So
see there's
here's your.
one.
So
two.
you stand up and
Um,
explain them.
So it's just the cover page. I wasn't really sure how to go about it, but
Okay.
someone's skating. This one, this is like the second page that you open up to, where you have like the 8 different spots or whatever. So I got like a screwdriver, a bolt, a skateboard, a wheel, shoes for like the other thing. I don't know, it's just an idea.
Face
uh,
mount more.
yeah.
There you go.
And then this one, maybe like for the lace up part, have the shoes dangling, with like the boards to slide up or something, or like new arrivals would be a t-shirt tab, slide it up. I don't know, just brainstorming. This one, just another idea, just a broken board. It's pretty sad. And then this one's kind of just the boards, which I went with that idea, kind of think like better. Not as the boards, like I kind of like the idea of them stacked up, but it might be a little too confusing. So I went with this one that I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. And then maybe get a picture of Santa Barbara Skate Park, just throw that on the front cover page. I don't know, just different ideas. This would be like a half pipe kind of, like another section. Because it's the etiquette, so it's kind of like important to follow that up first. And yeah, this is about it. So like a map, maybe a short video, like warning, sunspots are private, like stuff like that. Signs, look out for them. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of really good ideas. All of his layouts were really varied. Keep in mind, this one's actually, just looking at this, so kind of
Oh,
like in the
yeah.
corner
Yeah, that's
of
cool.
in InDesign, I forgot what this thing is called.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
terrible.
It reminded me of like,
Who remembers
I
what
don't
it's
know.
called? You guys all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The upper left corner in InDesign. It tells you what the
yeah, that's what it
orientation
looks like.
is
Yeah, that's
and
why
the
I got
XY
it from.
coordinate of your
Yeah,
frames.
I saw that. I was like, oh,
All
that'd
right.
be cool little like.
That's kind of cool,
Yeah,
right? That's kind of
like
cool.
when you click on it, it fades out, or like a little X mark, like something fun, you know.
Well, and you're oriented based on maybe a primary map that you have.
Okay. Yeah.
What quadrant, or what, if you divide it into
Divider.
9 parts, what quadrant you're going to find that park in or that site
Yeah,
in.
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's really, John's ready with his camera. He's ready for you.
Go for it.
And so something like that is really nice for grounding. Don't forget that you're going to want kind of a table of contents, so people know what they're getting into, what the
What they've already
comparisons
looked at
are.
and stuff.
Don't lose track of comparison charts, icons, so a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? It doesn't have to be that text heavy. You will have scrolling text. What are you going to describe? Will it have your voice and your
Yeah.
humor? That kind of thing. What was the other thing I was thinking? Oh, and as you were describing it, in the back of my head, I hear skateboard wheels. That's all I hear. Is
Yeah.
skateboard on the gravel, on the concrete,
Yeah.
and the sounds, and the
Just
board
Like
when it hits.
just rough sounds, like grinding. Like
And
that stuff,
wouldn't
those
that just
sounds
be
are cool.
so fun as your background, and that's
Mhm.
it, right?
Yeah, the sounds are cool.
What if you
Because
were to use like wheels or bearings for like the different sections for it?
Right, that'd be cool too. Like instead of circles or
Uh-huh.
squares.
Because
or
like I mean,
squares,
it's
circles.
virtually a button. It looks like
Yeah.
just like a button,
Yeah,
but
true.
it's actually
Just a wheel.
a little
you
bit more like
That's
I
a
guess
nice
idea.
touchy,
Yeah.
you know?
it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
I also started thinking about for each site, is it a kick or a push or a coast, or is it fast, or is it
Oh.
gravelly, or
That's
is
true.
it like maybe you can make recordings, a voice memo
Yeah.
on your phone? You have
Yeah, I have a
iPhone?
camera. I have a camera and a phone.
Okay. I do voice memos constantly on my phone, and wouldn't it be fun just for you to make all the sound effects for this?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
And it would be, so instead of you telling us whether it's a gravelly surface, we press the button and we
You
hear
can
the
tell
gravelly
from the-
surface.
That'd be cool.
And we press the button and we hear the smooth, because
Yeah, you
that
can
would
tell.
almost make us more skilled at it.
Oh yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Or when you get to it, like that page, maybe that sound just automatically comes up, like the skateboard going over the cracks in the sidewalk or something. Like that.
Right.
It's one of my favorite to
Or
hear
just
Right?
my
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the button? Jake would have to make a button,
I have
and
to
he'd
make a
set it
button.
up on a master page, so it shows up in the same
Okay.
location on every page. And when we hit the button for what's our surface like, maybe the button looks
Yeah,
like the surface, but it also makes the sound of the surface.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
more thoughts for Jake.
You have a really creative like.
Yeah, it's gonna
Like
be a lot of
stride
running
forward through
around,
this,
but it'll
like-
be fun. I just gotta.
I mean, well, just looking
Yeah.
at your thumbnails, like
Yeah.
you're designing different ideas with different artistic aspects.
Yeah.
Of it. Like
It's
having
gonna
the
be a
skateboards
lot,
hanging
but it'll be
down
cool.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, I think that one that you said with the rails and all the skateboards on them, if you
Right,
could do
yeah.
that and then like have an animation of them skating off, and
Yeah.
the screen could trail with
Control
the board
with
or
it. That'd
something.
be cool.
That'd be really awesome.
That'd be cool.
But like you're onto something really cool. I think the only problem that you have right now is you got too many options to choose
No,
from.
yeah, I think I do have to slim down a little bit, or not even slim down, but just kind of get everything
Contain
together. Yeah, exactly.
Just
So,
gather it,
Sweet.
tame it
Yeah, but you got it though.
in a
Thank
box.
you.
Yeah, that's
Sweet.
great.
Thank
you. Okay. Who wants support? Laura?